other people chance.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Shine on, my brother. Come on, Professor Womack, give me something.
Yeah, I'm just kind of still pondering, like, what does that mean today? I think in this society where it's individualistic, right? You know, get all you can for yourself. It's important, once again, for us to recognize that there's a we in our community that supersedes the I. You know, it's kind of like you remember we use on the football, basketball, soccer, baseball field, and your coach was like, "Hey, boy, ain't no I in team." Remember when they would say that, right?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, then you had the smart one to say, "Ain't no we in it either." You know what I'm saying? But once again, you got those nuggets dropped in every space, whether it was in the church space, whether it was in the academic space, whether it was in the athletic space. Our elders was always dropping that seed or that nugget of knowledge, like, this is a we thing. This ain't an I thing. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that was like the constant message that we received then. And the question is now, are we dropping those nuggets, right?
Mm. Yeah, that's rich right there. Are we dropping these nuggets? And I think both you and Willie really captured it, right? Is we're at a time right now where so many people are more concerned about the I than they are about the we. And so as a result, not only have we kind of been divided as a community, I mean, we haven't accomplished the things that we could have accomplished. You know, I often think about the benefits of, you know, the civil rights movement and how the work and the time that went into convening people. Now, one person probably could have, you know, did some things and for the most part would have gone unnoticed, right? But the fact that they had a whole movement of people that were doing things, rather it was, you know, the nonviolent protests, or rather it was just the bus boycott that lasted over a year. You had a movement that was made up of a lot of people. And so if one person does it, yeah, you can go far, and you'll probably end up not accomplishing not nearly what a group of people can accomplish. And so in today's economy, I think we continue to see people try to go at everything alone. And I think as a result of this, as a community, we're failing in a lot of things.
You know, it's funny that you bring this up, Sylvester, because I heard this story and I didn't hear it until I was grown. And when I heard the story, I was almost taken aback by it because I had never heard anybody bring it up. And even as a young person, I always fashioned myself to understand and to know the beginnings and impetus of things. And when you brought up civil rights and you brought up the bus boycott, everyone believes that the first person who sat on the bus and wouldn't get up was Rosa Parks.
Right.
But if you go back and look, it was not Rosa Parks, it was Claudette Colvin. Mm-hmm. It was her. She was the one who refused to give up her seat and was arrested with 4 other people and were a part of the Browder versus Gale case, right? Mm-hmm. But what we end up doing is that we think that, so just imagine if Sister Cloven would have been alone. Mm-hmm. Just imagine if Sister Cloven wouldn't have had a group of people who were around her. What if Sister Cloven didn't have people who couldn't go and boycott, but they sent their funds there? Or Sister Cloven wasn't a lawyer, so some people sent lawyers down there to help them to do cases because they knew they was gonna get. And who paid all that bail money when these folks kept getting arrested? Mm-hmm. What happens when you don't have all those things going on around you, those things that are moving together? See, it can never be an I to move anything. And for me, the insight that I have right now is I'm trying to help the community find its own unique and special voice. Because if you can get individuals to find their unique and special voice, then you got somebody who has the potential to sing a solo. But you put that person with some other basses and some tenors and some sopranos. You put that person with a choir and they can all sing the same song and they can hold that note. Then you can bring about the community change in what we're really after. This is why walking alone is never enough. Although there are times when you have to tread that way for a moment. But that's just so that you can find yourself. But once you find yourself, then it's time for you to move and bring others along with you on the journey. That's what this stuff is all about.
There you go. There you go. And we have to make sure that we're singing that song that you just sang, and we're singing it from different spaces, because in too many cases, people in our community are trying to attack things either individually, or they just don't want to share or join anybody else in doing things. When really they're defeated going in when you try to approach it all alone.
Yeah. And any idea starts with one person. But to actually get other people involved in it, you get their buy-in. And once you have their buy-in, you have their dedication to that idea, and that idea can grow.
Because the idea no longer is yours, Willie, it's ours.
Right.
So let me ask you this question. You personally, what was the experience or the moment where that switch flipped from I to we?
Well, for me, it was back when I was about 14 now, because he had told me that when I was 13, and I was trying to put my head around it. And like I was saying, I was part of the junior ball club. I was trying to go out and get all these grass cutting jobs and stuff, and I would be like the clearinghouse for it. Well, I found out I didn't have to do that. I had 4 or 5 other people with me, and we could spread out and cover a larger area of the neighborhood and get more jobs and have stuff lined up more readily. So by bringing them in, I gained more money, saved my time because I didn't have to do it all.
All right.
And it was a good, it was good for everybody involved.
So for me, Todd, I learned it when I was a little kid, and I remember my next door neighbor got in a fight with somebody, and more than one person was trying to fight my neighbor, and his little brother wouldn't help him fight. And I said, man, you ain't gonna help your brother? He said, man, he got himself into this mess. He get himself out. And then some of the people on the block wouldn't let more than one person fight him. They say, no, if you want to fight him, you'll fight him one-on-one. Y'all ain't finna jump on nobody over here, right? And I'll never forget it. My dad was just sitting in the door. Now, normally my dad would have tried to stop it, but he just paid attention. And because they didn't want to fight one-on-one, it really wasn't even a fight. It didn't happen. But I'll never forget what I got told when I walked back in the yard. And I got told that if I ever let my brother get his butt whooped by himself, don't come back in here, because I was going to get a whooping. Because at the end of the day, it was bigger than just being about me. It was about us. This is why my father had an adage: don't get in the car with people that you ain't ready to fight with. If you're not going to fight with them, then don't get in the car with them. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be called into question. And so if you're not a part of that light, if you ain't a part of what they doing, if that ain't who you cool with, then don't get in the car with them. Because to me, that's when you begin to learn, and those are the things that I even walk with today. See, I ride with the North Flint Neighborhood Action Council. I will get in the car with any of the block clubs and groups associated with the NAC. Why? Because I know that they will get in the car with me and ride with me if something ever happened.
Got your back.
Yeah, I learned. I had a cousin. I got a cousin, and his name is Craig Jones. And Craig had a paper route. And Craig, when it was time to do his paper route, he would allow me and my cousin Calvin to go along with him to do his paper route. And so we would deliver those papers. Now the incentive, because Craig was really good about cooking tacos, and Craig would say, "Hey, I'm gonna cook these tacos,